In this live stream recording, I'm going to have a couple different examples of trades that I took. You get to watch them as they happen. No cuts, no edits. Enjoy. Thank you. We'll talk soon. It's under view up. It's rejecting midnight open. Rally in London, right? So you got midnight open right here. Yeah, is it going to form the top wick to then displace lower? Are we getting short at like 490 for this to then expand lower? See what the hourly looks like. Yeah, the hourly's like, I think we're selling. I mean, let's just see how the open works. I think we might take this little 5-minute change in state down to these, like the 336. Is there a micro ES option? I guess I could do that. I'll do a micro ES, I guess. What is this? 13 points. Yeah. Micro NQ. I mean, maybe we'll just try it. Like a half size stop. I don't really like it that much. I mean, all the bearish confluences make sense. You know, you have midnight open that we're rejecting, 5-minute order block, 60-minute order block. You just need this immediate displacement lower. And then you have these really clear targets right here. 290. Or I'm sorry, 336. If we could just get displacement, I'll just like make this like a free trade. You know what I mean? I could probably just make it a free trade. So I think we'll just take free money if it works. Now we just kind of wait, right? If it bounces back on me, then whatever. I'm just being greedy, right? Like I want a free trade here. So yeah, maybe it gives you a little continuation for a value gap right here. But I think we just got the 5-minute order block trade. I think this works. I think it works. It does feel a little too easy though. So I wouldn't be surprised if it like if it gets bounced on. I don't think they're just going to give me a free $290 for doing nothing. But maybe. Who knows? This market hasn't been very generous though. I can say that. At least not with the upside. Maybe the downside is a different story right here. I just hate not having multiple contracts because then I can't partial out. So like I had to trail it kind of so I can have like a partial profit if it fails. But yeah, it's just 5-minute order block. I really don't think this is a complicated trade. 5-minute order block, 15-minute order block, and then you just have these relatively equal lows. So, and I'm trailing it more aggressive than I want to, but it's because I don't have partials to take. So I'm going to just do prior bar low as my trail. Unfortunately, right? I don't want to. So I feel like it's going to maybe bounce. So we'll be careful. Calm down. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. I think I hate shorting because of how much it bounces. Like these retracements. Leave me the fuck alone. Come on. Go away. But if it like bounces to here, what's the difference with it bouncing to where my entry was and I get 0 out of it? So is it, do I want 42 if it fails or 0 if it fails? That's kind of my perspective. All right. There we are. I think we're in a good spot now. This thing's really just bleeding. Like this was a good trade, I guess. Damn, this thing is really just bleeding. It's 300 look like? 360, damn. That'd be crazy. Okay, so what does the daily look like? Okay, so the daily flip can happen. And what's prior day low? 140? Oof. There's no way we trade to 140, right? There's no way we trade to 140. Right? That's a little too crazy. That's not going to happen. Maybe? That'd be crazy. I'm just looking at the daily candle, right? So I'm thinking, what happens when the daily candle flips? Do we run for the other side of the daily, the prior day low? We could run for the prior day low. But yeah, just got to survive these fucking bounces. I'm trailing prior bar low. I need this thing to keep bleeding so that I can stay in the trade. I mean, realistically, I could even look to add to this fucker. You know, I have the equity in the position. As long as it just doesn't bounce that much. Just stay down. Stop bouncing. I could be adding on this one. It's not my favorite though. That little order block. Boom. So I would think about adding there. I don't love it. So I think I'm just gonna stick with the aggressive trail system. Hopefully once this candle closes and we get some real puke, and then I can get this down further. I'm gonna watch it into 336. 336 is the target. Like definitely take profits there. Like take some, at least something. I'm just gonna try to see if I can finagle it a little lower. I wish I had more contracts, but on this trade, I don't really love it on the entry. I have more reservation with shorting than going long along this all fucking day. But shorts, it's a little different for me. Harder to see. Okay, I need some expansion now, ideally. This is where you can use those standard deviations right here. Boom, boom, boom. So this, yeah, it'd be 3 standard deviations. That's doable. I'm just trailing it aggressively. If you have more contracts than I do, you don't have to trail it so aggressive. You could have taken a partial at 400, which is a good spot. For me, I'm trying to just do the best I can with my open profits. I'd rather get something than 0, because still 480 to 435 is still a massive trade by itself. Like, let's not get confused. 100 points, 50 points, it's all good. It's all a good trade. even if it goes further without you. Yeah, I love that. I love that. I love all the stuff. When you just look over there and it's just chewing through all of that, it's awesome. It's all this just on the 15-minute chart, just cutting right through there. So we'll see how it reacts to 336 and a half or a quarter. But my thoughts are it's probably going to just kind of run through it. Like I feel like this is going to be kind of a baby target just because of how big this manipulation is. So I do think we'll get some nice displacement to the downside. I'd really want you guys to be looking at this daily candle though. Like you see where the daily's at right now. It has room to flip. Like if this thing can flip right here, this opening price, if it could be, or if the current price could be below the open, then we could potentially see a run to down here. So that's like the main thought. The trail's obviously super tight. Like I said, I'd rather walk away with $113 than zero. But hopefully we just get a big push. There's a big push down. Yeah, see how it's getting real heavy? I think it's coming. I think we're going to start seeing a big expansion candle. If we can actually close lower. See, we have, this 15-minute candle. It's got 4 minutes left. We just need to go lower a little bit longer. Come on. You got it. Don't be weak. Let's go. Come on. That's why I hate shorting. It does this stuff right here. Just gross. Just go lower. Lower is good. Lower is good for you. Look at the 5-minute. Not my favorite. See, yeah, not my favorite. Because it could dig back up to this fair value gap, but I don't need to hold on for all that. I could just take the trade off. Yeah, see? So I made $100 on that trade. Not too bad of a short. I mean, it's not too bad. But I think for me, that might be it. I think I might be done with that. That wasn't a bad trade. I don't really know what I risked. I think it was less than $70 or about $70. Made 100 on a failed setup, right? Look good. Look really good. Now it's pulling back a little. Maybe it gives you a re-entry. But I mean, that looked really solid. I'm going to check MES, make sure it didn't do anything stupid. Yeah, MES is just holding on for dear life. Dow doesn't even, never mind. Jesus. So yeah, MES holding this opening range. At least we got out pretty much we got out pretty low, honestly. I think right here, 23s. I think we got about 2R out of it. That was the trade we caught. It was something like that because I know I didn't use the full stop. I know I was cheap with it. I think I put it like right here, midpoint or something. Yeah, 25 points. Yeah, it's a good trade. It's a good trade. So yeah, not a bad setup. The 15 is changing a lot. So I think we had the right approach because think about this. If I still had my stop like, I don't know, 460 even, it would have taken it. And that's giving back 40 points for no reason. For no reason. Like there's zero benefit to it. So when I have it right here at 423, that's a good trade. Now, Whether or not this wants to continue lower for another leg is to be decided. I mean, you could be looking at like this inversion right here, which I think might be a move. I think this inversion might be the move. Let's see. Just for this. Free trade. Let's see if I get the free trade. Just scam it real quick. I'm hoping it just gives them momentum. There, we got one off. Okay, so cool. We made a couple bucks there, and hopefully we get to ride for the free trade. This isn't necessarily the most efficient thing to do, but if you don't want to lose anything you've already made on the day, you could technically try to get a free trade. Like, what's it hurt? You know, you saw me get my stop into profit. I already took one off. Like, I already got the money. You can't get it back. It's mine. So if this works, see, I'm good. I just made an extra however much. I think I was up 300. Now I'm up 380 off a setup that kind of didn't work too quickly. So I'm cool with that. If it works, that's great. If you want to keep the open risk, go for it. Yesterday was kind of a grind for me, so I'm not really trying to. You know, maybe, and sometimes like, yeah, I might get you by one tick. Oh, well, I just got a free $80. I didn't do anything. I didn't do anything other than just snipe an entry. So there are some things you can technically do with futures that people will say you can't. And it's like, why can't you? I just did it. Just showed you. So like, if you want to hold on for the whole move, that's fine. You could even hold on for this whole fucking move from where we first entered. You don't even have to move your stuff. You'd be break even. You'd be fine the whole time. It just depends on what are you trying to get into for the day. For me, I saw free money right there. I went ahead and took it. There's a great opportunity for the rest of the short. I wouldn't get into this trade if I didn't think it was going to go here. However, that doesn't mean I need to leave risk on. I can always take it off. But yeah, up 380 on the session. So that's between yesterday and Asia, or yesterday's Asia and today. So, I mean, it's a good day so far, I would say. When I tried to partial, yeah, okay. So if you're trying to partial out of a trade, but you see your whole entry move down, it's because you probably averaged into the trade. Yep. 100%. 100%. So see, the setup's like taking forever to work, and I just stole a free $80. I think that's like, I think I like that more, because more than anything, honestly, just getting a trade, being able to move it to break even, and then it just works. Yeah, I would say, especially with Project X, if you average into a trade and then you exit partially, it will just kind of move your trade. It'll move your average price. I don't know why, because if you average in, it makes your price a certain level. So I don't know why averaging out would make it different. I mean, I get why it does it. Like, I understand the math, but I don't see why it needs to. So yeah, right here, I mean, we're still looking for 336. Still 336. It's being very resistant, though. I will say that the 5-minute doesn't look all that hot for a short. I mean, actually, now it kind of does. What changed? Wait, what? Something's different. What the fuck? Oh, look at that. Look, discrepancy between NQ and the micro NQ. Yeah, what the fuck? Oh, just this micro NQ. Weird shit going on. Anywho, but yeah, those were the two trades on stream. We caught the short, like a good amount of the short actually. Then we caught the second leg, and we scammed a free $80. So I cannot complain about that. I do feel like this obviously gives you to here. That's your next target. So you just got to follow order flow. Where are we headed? And then what would confirm a good entry? I think I'm good on entries right now. I don't think I need another. I'd be cautious with reversals right here. I mean, as a rule, when you're inside a giant bearish candle, these lower time frame setups like this can end up becoming the wick. So it might rally and break this and then sweep lower. I'm not saying like in this scenario that will happen. I'm not too sure. But in general, yeah, a lot of failed setups happen right here where it just kind of turns into the wick and then this candle flips. Especially when there's like reason for this to trade lower. I don't think there's an inherent reason that this needs to go higher right now. I don't think we've really done much damage to the downside. So I do think it's reasonable for it to kind of reach. Oh, nice. You could change the setting. Okay. Interesting. So yeah, so far so good. We've been tactical this morning. I did try like two setups before the open, or three, I think. Two of them kind of smacked me, like for like 40, $50 or whatever. Especially the short. I tried the short early and it just didn't work, but it worked on ES, so that was annoying. Let's see what we have right now. Yeah, see this? I mean, it's already retraced most of the candle. I think the bearish idea is dead. All good. We got our piece out of it. Caught like 50, 60 points at least. Nice. 785. Cool. Yeah, I mean, on a day like this, you might as well chip away at something like that. I think we're up 380. Is that what I said? Something like that. So it's been a good week. I mean, yesterday had some drawdown, was able to correct that. And yeah, what are we at now? Yeah, 3,300 for this account. Not too bad. Could be better, could be worse. But yeah, guys, remember this is a short week. Today's the last day of the week. So we pretty much traded a really simple setup. You could call this the opening range break if you want. Sometimes there's that little pre-market opening range, right? And we trade it to the downside. I think this was a really fucking easy day. There's a potential for continuation long right here. This is what my eyes immediately get drawn to right here. Target like 520 or something. If I hadn't traded something, I'd probably enter this, honestly. Look for like midnight open at like 5:30. It's like this blue line's midnight open, I believe. Yeah. See, make it orange. I would look to trade this to here. And I would use this. Yeah. If I was 0 on the day, I would go for this. Easy trade. I find in this market, you're going to see more order blocks than fair value gaps. I have no clue why. Like, there's very few fair value gaps sometimes. Be mindful you're into this area right here. So you'd have a tight stop. You could use the bodies. I don't use the wicks normally for these. So 22 points for 58 points. It would not be a bad trade. Yeah, see, look how immediate this kind of follow through is. See this push? So as soon as we broke above VWAP, like I said, the same way I said I would take this trade right here if I didn't take anything, as soon as we break above VWAP and we're getting close to a candle closure, I'd watch it, see this next candle open, look for some sort of bottom wick to form. Once I believe that there's a good enough bottom wick, which I don't yet, wait for it to kind of flip like 510. I'd be looking to trail it as soon as it flips like 510. It's tough. You're at VWAP, right? It'd be better if you were above VWAP. So you really had to ask yourself, is this going to reject right here, or are we going to potentially flip on this next candle? I'd be looking at my order, potentially ready to ditch it. And yeah, we just have to see if it gets above here. If it gets above here, as soon as it gets above this opening price, I'm going to break even. Like that's what I would be doing on this trade. Just because of like the location so tricky. It looks great for continuation, but it's literally right at VWAP. Yeah, look at the 1 minute. 1 minute changed a little bit on us. Upper wick. This one's still hanging on for dear life. Right there, the bodies. So yeah, as soon as it starts pushing above here, that's where I'm thinking trail. And if it doesn't work, I mean, it's 22 points. Not too bad. It's a good attempt at a continuation. It's just awkward position. So yeah, there's a stop on that one. Then from there, like after that, if I got stopped right there, I would just wait for 10 a.m. That's what I would do. Got a little bit of a push and then said, hey, here's VWAP. Just kidding. So it happens. It never is a great thing when you're right under VWAP. However, you know, midnight open is a pretty strong draw. Be looking at this right here. So you have all these down close candles. It sweeps this previous low right here. Boom. We'll watch what it does into 10 a.m., but then I'm pretty much done. Call it an easy day today. Pretty solid week. Aside from yesterday, I kind of had to go to war with the charts. Just kind of took too much damage early on. Decided to wait, and then I found my entry for the short, and then I took like 2 big stops on it right before it worked. So should have been green yesterday by a lot. Like I should have been a pretty solid day, but this happens. Anyone catch anything interesting today? I feel like the short was pretty on the money. All right, let's take a look at that 5 minute now. That 5 minute looks a little interesting to me. It's like, are we going to draw lower now towards our initial target? It's a good question. All we did was kind of rally into the range. It's not like we didn't do all that much to market structure. So, I mean, I could see a possibility where that happens, but let's see what the low time frame looks like. Yeah, kind of conflicting for me right here. This is closing higher. Now is this your freaking order block in the same exact spot, just a little bit later? Tags this fair value gap right here. And then does this, yeah, let's see. I feel like, yeah, the higher time frame likes lower prices. 4 hour just closed. Kind of messy. There's a little bit of two-sided action you could see happening. It's like, yeah, I can see the higher time frame logic for one way, but the way the lower time frame is interacting with that can kind of lead you to think, okay, maybe there is room for more upside. So it's a tricky scenario. That's why I'm not like super eager to do anything right now. You know, obviously I mentioned the one attempt I would have taken. That would have been a loss. There would have been nothing you could have done about that. But yeah, as it stands right now, I don't see a super clear draw. I do like those lower levels. However, the way we've kind of coiled in here, we have a little bit of a breaker on the lower time frame. This order block right here, like I can see it trading higher. I can see all these as low resistance highs that you can run for. Yes, 5 minute. So tricky spot if you decide to keep trading. Just keep that in mind. Know that we have a holiday tomorrow, so we're not going to have the market open. Just be cautious. If you're up on the day, be happy with that. I'm definitely done for the day. So yeah, if you guys have any questions, let me know. I'm gonna wrap up, get this up on YouTube. Yeah. Slow week for me, nothing yet today. Very hands off. That's good. It's good. It's you gotta have that time. Like you gotta have time where you're not trying to do all that much. Sometimes you might deviate from that. Like I can go from being super patient to saying, you know what, I need to practice engaging with price more. So that's what I find myself doing a little bit more lately. And you just, yeah, you just kind of see what works, right? Like sometimes being more active helps, sometimes being more active hurts. And I think it comes down to your understanding of price. Cause I mean, the guys who say, oh, you could only trade days where like it's perfect. It's like, first of all, no day is perfect. And second of all, you know which days are going to be perfect and which ones are going to be bad. It's you can have a tendency, but it doesn't mean that's exactly what it is. Oh, the day before CPI is always bad. No, it's not. I can tell you it's not always bad. It can be bad, maybe more often than not, but I think a lot of traders nowadays, since they're like, oh, I have this perfect recipe on how to be successful at trading. I just can only trade 4 days a month. They're gonna get fucking stomped when one of those days doesn't end up being perfect. If it's less than ideal, like they have a little bit of cloudy weather and like they don't have a rain jacket, and these kids will get fucking pneumonia from it because they're just not ready to trade sloppier conditions. And every single trader that I know that's an absolute animal that I personally know isn't the type to be like, oh, I only trade like, you know, like get their fucking pink nail polish on and shit and act like, oh, it needs to be like bubblegum perfect. It's like, dude, no, they just trade. They just trade. You won't go to the pit and ask any of those traders who were there for like literally decades. They wouldn't be like, oh yeah, I only show up on Wednesdays. Like, get the fuck out of here. So there's just a very I think people try to want to look for perfect conditions, and they try to avoid trading some less than ideal conditions just so they can feel good about themselves. Try to avoid the work. Is this inversion going to hold right here for these lows right here? Let's see. So if we get a close under 420 to trade to 330, 330 area, that'd be nice. What's 15 look like? I would like to trade this if it's going to be super direct. So I need a close under this 420. Like, it needs to close, not just test it. Because if it can close strongly right under here, I could put my stop right here, 20-point stop, and then go for this low right here. If this can set up, I will try this. But I'm very picky. It needs to close under 420. That would be a decent idea. You have VWAP right here. You have the 930 open. It also rejects. Don't play with me. Don't play with me. Come on. Let's go. Don't play with me. Trying again for that free trade. I'm obsessed with these today. This should run like immediately. It doesn't need to hesitate. It doesn't need a wick. It needs to run. It's got the room to displace. Let's go. Give me that free trade. It's that NASDAQ insider tip. You can just put your stop to break even when it should move. It's like that's a criteria of mine. It needs to move quick. Look at that. What did we say? We said we wanted it to close under. It did not. It almost did. It almost closed under 420. Right here. Yeah, 424. Close enough for me. Let's give it a little room to form a top wick, and then it's push lower, and then we'll trail it. Come on, that's a weak top wick. You could do better. There we are. Okay, free money. Cool. $400 on the day. I'm happy. We saw the setup. It got kind of aggressive into there. So I was a little skeptical on how quickly it would work. but we did start to see a push. And the old me, the 2024 me, would have got in here, maybe late, maybe early, would have ended up taking a full stop if this didn't work, and then trying it again. So in 2025, I've learned that you actually want to put money in your account. You don't want money to go down. Because if you have a trade that's winning and you somehow walk away with less money than before that trade, you're stupid. You should always, especially with prop firm accounts, you should always be adding equity to your account. So, oh wow, that was $30. Dude, I don't even know what I risked on that. I think it was like nothing. I risked, I don't know, $20 for like 1 second. Yeah, I'll take that. That's a good trade. It's a little bit different, but I'm just scalping because I don't have a ton of conviction with these trades right here. And you see this one, the one I tried earlier on that inversion barely worked, but I still got $40 out of it, or $80 or whatever the fuck it was. So I call that a win in my book. I'm done. I am done. I'm up $400 on the day. Cool. Not bad. All right. So hopefully you guys learned something. Just a little bit of scalping action. You got to be able to adapt. I like aiming for the bigger trades too. I like catching the big moves. It definitely looks cooler, but I'm going to also take free money when I see it. So yeah, hopefully you guys learned something. Take care. We'll talk soon. I'm going to get this uploaded, and yeah, happy Thursday.